Hello, welcome. My name's Kathleen. I'm one of the spirit operators. Today we're going to take a look at the hungry ghost realm. So, this is one of the lower realms. We start off with for the lower realms, we start off with the animal realm, which is the highest level in the lower realms. And then below that is the hungry ghost realm, and then there's one more below that. So the hungry ghosts, right? They do have greater mental capacity than the animals do, so they could understand spiritual teachings and perhaps even engage in spiritual teachings, but their suffering is way greater than the animals' suffering. So they really don't. They're too distracted with their stuff they're going through to even really think about going into spiritual stuff. So the sufferings that these hungry ghosts go through is extreme heat, extreme cold, intense hunger and thirst, great fear, great anxiety. They're filled with fear and anxiety that they're never going to find any food because they spend their lives looking for food. They can spend years and years and years trying to find food before they actually find any. They also suffer from a lot of fatigue, which has to do with their bodies. Their bodies are huge and ugly. They have really thin, emaciated limbs, like their arms and legs. Their legs can barely hold them up. Their bodies are so large. They have distended bellies. They have really thin necks, huge heads that are too heavy for their necks. So they have a hard time keeping their heads up. Oh, sorry, my kitten has dropped by to say hello. This is Eve. Sorry. Okay. So the hungry ghosts, like they can see food in the distance sometimes, but by the time they get there, it's gone, or it turns into this putrid substance that's just like, they don't want to eat it, but that's all they've got. And I'm not going to go into details. just know, wouldn't want to be eating that at all, because it takes them so long to get to the food. They see it; it's so far off, and they struggle so much with their bodies to be able to move. It takes them a long time to get there. So by the time they get there, it's rancid, or it's gone already. So they're always in fear and anxiety of being able to get anything to eat because they're starving all the time. If they do get food and they're actually able to eat it, it's very hard for them to swallow. Their throat is blocked, so it's a real struggle for them to even get the food down. And if it does go down and gets into their bellies, it turns into like a fiery substance. It's just burning, it's agony, and flames come out of their orifices apparently. So I haven't seen this, but it is said that if you're in the desert or somewhere and you see flames, little flames or whatever, that could be from hungry ghost. I have not personally experienced that, but that's what I have researched. So, they're able to come up into the human realm and interact here. And I have had experience with that. But they the spirits. So there's a lot of different spirits that I have interacted with in my life. I don't always see them. Sometimes I see them. Sometimes I hear them. Sometimes I can even feel them. They might touch me or rub up against me, like a spirit. Okay, not apparently, but I have. We saw Eve earlier. There is a black cat spirit that hangs around with me, shows up every once in a while, and does what cats do and rub up against my legs, and I go down to pet it, and both of my cats are sleeping in another room, so it can't be one of them. And so yeah, there's a lot of different spirits, and so these hungry ghosts are on the spirit realm here, and they come up here and they interact with us, and they can interfere with us. They, as I was saying before, they have better mental faculties than animals do. And so they actually can have miracle powers, and they can be very powerful. And like some of them, they also have contaminated clairvoyance. So they can know things about you and your life, and they can pretend to be someone that perhaps has passed away that you knew. And because of this clairvoyance, they're able to trick us sometimes. So we have to be super, super careful when we're dealing with spirits because of this. They may be wanting to help, or they may want to harm us, okay? And you don't know. So you have to be really careful and cautious. Like if they ever ask you to sacrifice anything, that is not a spirit you want to be dealing with, because you never, ever, ever want to sacrifice anything. You never want to kill, harm anything because a spirit or, you know, anyone you think is wanting this to improve your life. Never, ever, 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 ever do that, okay? Because the karma is just awful that you will get from doing that. And no actual, true, holy being would ever ask you to sacrifice anything, okay? Because they don't want things to get worse for you. They're actually trying to help you. So if something is asking you to sacrifice, like kill something, you're not dealing with a good spirit or entity, okay? Okay, sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. So we have to be really, really careful when we're dealing with hungry ghosts. Now, I have dealt with them. I was taking Buddhist classes, and I was told how to help them, how to help the hungry ghosts. And if you have leftovers from your meal, you can actually share it with them. You have to say a blessing over the food. So if you're interested in doing this to help them because they're starving, they have families, their children are starving, they can't feed their children because they can't find food. So if you want to help them, I did do this in the past. You say Om Ah Hum or Om Ah Hum 3 times over the food. Okay, Om Ah Hum, Om Ah Hum, Om Ah Hum. Okay, 3 times over the food. That blesses it. That enables them to be able to actually eat it. That it will be food they can eat when they get it. And then you want to place it somewhere high outside, not inside. Outside, place it up somewhere high that they can get to it in a tree, wherever. So that they can access it, okay? That's what I was told. I was doing that when I was taking the Buddhist classes. Now, if you're a sensitive person like me and you have interact with spirit, like I've been interacting with spirit pretty much my whole life, if if you do that, when I was putting out the offerings to try to help them, because I had compassion for them, didn't want them to suffer, they kind of got a little aggressive. It's like, oh, here's someone who can actually give us food. And I kind of got a little overwhelmed and swarmed with all the spirits coming, because they can interact. And at that time, I was not able to deal with that, and so I stopped offering. So just know, like, if you don't have issues with being haunted or spirits being around you, you can go ahead and do this and you'll probably be fine. You probably wouldn't notice if they were around. But if you do have abilities, just know it may increase, okay? The need, because they're so desperate. Here's someone, especially nowadays in degenerate times, like there's going to be hardly anybody doing this. They're just going to swarm because we can actually get food, okay? So while it's great karma to do, I just want you to be aware of consequences that could happen, might not, okay, but they could happen. So just to let you know, I don't want to dissuade you from doing it, because it is really good karma, but I don't want to, let you do it and then suddenly, you're swarmed by all these spirits and what's going on, okay? So just putting it out there. Okay, so that's how I know that hungry ghosts exist, because I deal with different spirits. I clear haunted houses and stuff, so I have interacted with different spirits. So for me, yeah, that's real. Okay, so now, because we're in the cycle of uncontrolled rebirth that I've been talking about in a few videos, and we go from lifetime to lifetime, and the lower the realm, the more time we spend there. So yes, we have been hungry ghosts in the past, and if we're not careful, we'll be hungry ghosts in the future. And so what sort of behavior takes you to the hungry ghost realm would give you rebirth there? Being miserly, being really selfish and greedy, because the more you have, the more others are doing without. And there's a lot, sadly, because of degenerate times, there's a lot of greed in the world, and it just seems to be escalating lately. And if one person has trillions of dollars, or billions, or even millions, that means there are other people that don't have any, and they can't even get their basic needs met. And so you'll end up taking rebirth as a hungry ghost, where you don't have anything and you can't find anything, because you prevented others from having things in this life. So you will take rebirth there, and you will suffer all of the sufferings that you're causing others due to your greed. Okay, I'm not saying that you personally are greedy, but we probably know of people who are like that. People who are miserly, like even fiction. The Christmas Carol. So you got Scrooge and Jacob Marley. So Jacob Marley, who didn't change his ways, would have ended up in the hungry ghost realm, and so it was trying to warn Scrooge not to do that. Although it wasn't called the hungry ghost realm. But anyway, but it's those types of behaviors that get you a rebirth in the hungry ghost realm. So you want to refrain, from behaving in those ways. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to give everything away and that you do without. Of course not. You need what you need in order to live, right? You need shelter, you need food, you need clothes, you need to, hygiene, you need to look after yourself. However, you don't need 5 cars, you don't need 3 houses. You don't even need 2 houses. You only need 1 home. You know, you don't need the latest fashions and diamonds and, you know, all the luxury stuff. You don't need it. You may want it, you may desire it, but you don't need it in order to live life, okay? And so you want to make sure that you're not taking and hoarding and being miserly and not sharing and giving what you can, okay, what you're comfortable with. And yeah, you don't want to have way more than you need, because you'll take rebirth in a hungry ghost realm, and I would not want that for anybody. Okay, I think that's it. I hope I didn't miss anything. I kind of checked over my notes. I think I got everything. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to make any comments or discuss anything, let us know in the comments below. You can always email us at spiritoperators@gmail.com. We have a website, spiritoperators.neocities.org. And we're also on Bluesky, so you could follow us there. There should be descriptions and links below. I hope they work. And then you can just click on that and join us there, where there's a couple of blogs and different things that you can interact with us there. Okay, so I hope I got everything. If you made it this far, thank you so much. And I'll see you next time.